This is a video on business studies for the students of class 12 commerce, and we are discussing the second chapter, that is your job analysis and manpower planning. This is the first part of the video. Now, what do we mean by job analysis? Now, if you remember when we were discussing about human resource planning, under the operative function, one of the important function of a HRM is job analysis. Now, when we were discussing that, I've already explained to you what a job analysis is. We try to know what kind of job the people who will be recruited are required to do. Now, job analysis, if you see, it is a formal and a detailed study of a job to obtain all the important and relevant facts about the job. So if you are offering someone a job, suppose if you are the owner of a company and you are offering a job, so before you offer a job, the people who are seeking the job will obviously will want to know what kind of job he or she is supposed to do once he's selected. So it is actually whenever there is offer for a job, there is a detailed study by HRM what kind of job the person is required to do. So people who will be selected for the job will be selected on the basis of what his or her qualifications matches with the kind of job he's supposed to do. So it is basically the detailed study regarding what kind of job he's supposed to do. It is, as I've already told, it is one of the important function and a very useful function of human resource management because it acts as a bridge between the you can say the organization and the people who are seeking the job. Now, if he knows what kind of job is being offered, he can actually explain. There's a notification that we need candidates for this particular post, and he should have this stated qualities to do that job effectively. So it will not be wastage of time for the others who they'll stop themselves, or they'll restrict themselves. Okay, that I'm not suitable, my qualifications do not match as per the requirement of the company. So this is also people who are seeking the job will actually look forward. Okay, I have the stated qualification that the former company is looking, so he might apply for the job. So it will be wastage of less wastage of time or no wastage of time for the people who are seeking the job as well as who are offering the job. So it is one of the very important function of human resource management. It is the summary of contents of a job. You are in advance stated, if you're seeking a job, you have the details regarding what kind of work you are supposed to do. Next point is, it is a process of collecting and analyzing data relating to a job. Like same thing, you are collecting and you are seeing, okay, I'm supposed to do this particular things. So you relate like whether I can do it or not. So you can analyze yourself that are you capable of doing, or are you capable of fulfilling the requirements that the job is seeking for. Next point, it is a part of overall work planning, which is called work design. Now, work design, you see, it is a part of overall work planning, how the work is to be done, what is the kind of work you're supposed to do. It is basically the design, like what kind of jobs you are supposed to do, what are the list of things that you have to do within a particular job. So this is what your work design is. As jobs are always subject to change, a job analysis may become absolute within a certain period of time. Now, things change, technology changes, everything changes, so the kind of work or the way of work is being performed will also change. Your duties might change with the period of time. So with that, it comes all those training and all that stuff. But basically, job analysis is done, but things will not change drastically. Something relating to the work very close to the kind of work you're presently doing will change. So job analysis is done because after every intervals, the kind of work or the way of working also changes. So you've understood what is a job analysis. It is, if I say in one word or if I say it in a sentence, it is basically the details of the job that you are looking for. It is details of the job that the company is offering to you. it is giving you an overall view of, or you can say the list of things that you are supposed to do within a job. So why do we need to analyze a job? Analysis of job is very important because when you're performing or when you're doing a job, there might be with time there might come changes. You need to know what is the work that you are doing, what is the kind of people you will be working with, what is your is there scope of any your growth while you are working. So all these things, there are various factors which concern an employee when who is seeking a for a job. So all these things are very important. Job analysis is important for human resource also, because suppose if I'm offering you a job, obviously what is the first question that you're going to ask me? What is work I'm supposed to do? If I offer you a job that okay, we have a vacancy here, would you like to job? You are, what work should I do there? What will be my salary? How are the people working there? So is there any, training and all that stuff, so that, there is a growth of how are we appraised, like how is we examined whether the work that we are doing is we are doing it perfectly. And so these are various things that comes to your mind when you're joining a job. So job analysis is important. So let us begin with the first topic. Now, organizational design. Now, organizational design means there has to be a hierarchy, or there has to be an order of how things are being done or how instructions are being given, to the middle level or to the lower level. What is the mode of, transmission of, you can say, any information or your assignments. So what is the design like? We know that there are three levels within a management. So there's a top level, there's a middle level, and there's a lower level. So what is the flow of information? It is coming from the top level to the middle level and lower level. That means there is a sequence. So it creates a very healthy working environment. So we know that who are your seniors and who will be giving you the assignments, who's going to give you the job. So there is a order, or there is a consequences according to which you're given task, and how this is how you know who is your boss and whom you have to report. If you suppose if you are a clerk in an office, you cannot directly go to the CEO and file a complaint or suggest any new plans that you have. There has to be order. You give it to your senior, and then it will move on upwards. So there has to be a design, there has to be a proper organization, a proper coordination, according to which your sayings or whatever you feel is being transferred, or whatever your seniors want to get things done from you is transmitted. A managing director will not come in directly to a labor and tell that okay, produce this way, produce a particular good in this way. It doesn't happen. There has to be an order by which the information comes flowing downwards. So there has to be an organizational design which creates a effective and a very efficient environment. It creates it creates a very sound relationship among the people working within an organization. So organizational design is very important. It actually creates a proper hierarchical, you can say, proper hierarchical flow of information, whether it is upwards or downwards. So this is what we have from organizational design. Next, we have human resource planning. Now, human resource planning is very important because of human resource planning, the organizations can actually recruit people. You can come to know that what is the requirement of more people that is to be required for working within an organization. So human resource planning is very important because it actually plans the requirement and how the people are to be recruited within an organization. So your next point, if you see recruitment and selection. Now human resource planning, we got to know that okay, this is the requirement of people for this particular post in this particular department. Now next process comes is your recruitment and selection. Now we know that this number of people are required, so you put an application, you put an offer in the market, or you can issue in the notification in the website that we require this many people for this particular job. These are the stated qualifications, and this much salary will be given everything in detail within that notification, and then you get applications for that job, and then on with that process comes is your selection. Now after selection we have placement. Now once you have selected, okay, you've shortlisted 10 people who is going to work. Now you need to place them. So you know that this particular department requires this many people, which has already been planned. So that number of people are placed, and then you are giving them proper training, a very good working environment. You're making them feel good, feel homely, so that they're ready to work within an organization. Now once you have placed them, they need to be acquainted with the kind of work that they want to do. So then comes your training. Now once these people are placed, you have selected them, you have given them training, you have placed them. Now after placing them, you need to give them proper training so that they become very used to with the kind of work that they are doing. So training is very important. There might be on the job training, off the job training, that will be reading in the consequent chapters. So training is also very different kinds. You might send them for any workshop, all these things, which enhances the capability of the workers. So training is very important. Next comes performance. Now once they have been trained, they are accustomed to the kind of job, then you place them in the work. They have started working. Now you see that you have spent so much on them. You have spent on their recruitment, you have spent on their placement, you have trained them. Now they have started working. Now you see, or now you keep a check, that we say, that whether they are able to do the kind of work that is expected from them. So performance appraisal. Now like you see in a normal way, if I say you, just for an example, suppose we are teaching you in the classroom, okay, we are giving you a proper training. Now once the training is done, you got the knowledge. Now we need to check whether whatever we have taught you've understood or not. For that we need to give you what? Examinations. So this is how performance appraisal is done. You are continuing with your job, but we to check whether your performance, what is the way, or what is your approach towards the job. So all that is appraised, or you can say checked, cross-checked, whether you are efficient enough to do the particular job. According to that, you will be given promotions or demotions, hike in the salary. All these things come with that. Career path planning. Now what is career path planning? Now employees are working within an organization. They have started work, once their performance is being, checked, we know that his capabilities, what are his capabilities and what he is very good at. According to that, he has a scope of upliftment within the organization. So that is a kind of path planning, your career path planning. I'm sorry, I'm twisting with the words, but that is your career path planning. That means what is your scope of personal growth or personal development within the organization, whether that organization see or checks that, okay, he's good at this, he has certain capabilities where he can be shifted upwards within an organization. So when I say upwards within an organization, that comes with your promotion, you're moving to the higher rank. So there's a scope, or you can say a design of moving ahead. So that is your career path planning. Next comes is the job design. Now with the help of knowledge and job requirement, improvements in work design and work methods can be made to improve the productivity and job satisfaction. Now job design basically means that we have all the knowledge. With the change in technology, we need to improve ourselves. How we can, with the available knowledge, with the available resources, how can we improve our work? So that comes with your job designing. Now it takes two forms, namely industrial engineering and human engineering. Now the former is concerned with the measurement, simplification and improvement of work so as to improve efficiency and reduce cost, and human engineering involves redesigning jobs to match the physical and psychological capabilities of employees. Now we see that job design basically consists of two types, that is your industrial engineering and human engineering. Now, industrial engineering basically concerns with, upliftment of technology, how, with the available resources you can produce more, means basically increasing your efficiency and effectiveness. Now, with human engineering, like I said, providing you, extra workshops or excessive, you can say trainings, or different kinds of collaborations with the different departments of the organization, so that you have that satisfaction that you can work more better. It motivates you, it increases your capacity, it increases your efficiency at work. So this is your job design. Next comes is your job evaluation. Job design also states like so that actual person, or you can say the capability of one individual person is, you are given job according to your capability. So that is also job design, means jobs are being designed on the basis of your capability. So this is also your job design. Now, job evaluation is what is the credibility of the job, what is the wage or what is the salary that you can expect from this particular job. So that is your job evaluation. What is the best possible salary, or you can say the feasible or the fair salary that a particular employee deserves from the particular job. So that is your job evaluation. Labor relations. Now, labor relations means what is the relationship of a labor within an organization. It may be, relation with your juniors and seniors, relation with your co-workers, relation with the, you can say the employers. So what kind of relations a labor enjoys within the organization is very important. How does a particular organization treat his laborers is very important. So this comes under your labor relations. It is basically, if you see in your textbook, it is the information that is obtained through job analysis, is helpful to both management and trade unions for collective bargaining, and it can also be used to resolve disputes and grievances relating to workload, work procedures, etc. So if a laborer feels that okay, his work is too much, his workload is excess, that he's not able to cope, and he's feeling some, problems in doing so he must have that cordial relation, or the work environment should be such that he can openly go and speak to his seniors. So this is how your labor relations is focusing on. Next is your employee counseling. Now, counseling, we know that, trying to, to counsel or to, suggest best possible thing, when you go for career counseling, means you're, as per your results, as per your qualifications, or as per your capabilities, you suggested that you should go on with this particular field of study or something like that. So employee counseling is also when you have the job, when this job analysis is done, you are actually, motivated to work on the basis of your capabilities. So basically, it is concerned with, advising you to go for the particular field of work. And if the organization, or if you feel that, okay, this particular pressure, this amount of work pressure is not being, so you are suggested to opt for some other job. So employee counseling is very important. It gives you a guidance for your career, like you're good at this, so go ahead with this, things like that. So that is your counseling. Next, we have health and safety. It is very important for an organization, for a particular job, that it should secure, it should, assure an employee of his safety and health. Most of the companies now go for, insurance of the laborers, but job analysis also focuses on, when you go for, first thing that we see is the kind of work that, suppose if you're doing something very labor intensive work, so it requires a lot. When you're using, different machines or different, there are chances of, having meeting with an accident or something like that. So there should be appropriate safety measures. There should be proper health checkups for the employees working in an organization. So these are some of the important aspects that I've discussed today. Go through your textbooks, read these points again. I'm sure you'll be able to understand and relate some of the topics are very relative to each other and some of them follow each other, like you see human resource planning, recruitment, placement, training. So these are related to each other. You know the kind of job that you are doing, you know the kind of number of people you require for a particular job, recruit them, select them, place them in the workplace, train them, check their performance, and see what are they capable of, and then this circle just goes on. So these are the important points, and this is why the analysis of job is very important. So this is all we have from the video today. The next topic will be discussing about the relevance of job description or position description within an organization. So thank you.